So, Crash Bandicoot 4, possibly one of the best Crash games to have ever released so far. And I'm not comparing it to its kart racing variants like Crash Team Racing, although it is a really great game, but I'm comparing it to its platforming, one-of-a-kind aspect that makes a Crash Bandicoot game so special. And recently, I've decided to hop back into Crash 4 again just to check it out once more and sort of revisit some of its former glory. And with that said, this is how Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time is doing so far. And I can say that, wow, this game was definitely, and it still is, such a treat. Now, like most people, I am not a Crash Bandicoot expert. I've actually had my fair share of frustrations in Crash 4, especially when it comes to perfecting my runs just for the sake of having those shiny achievements at the end of each level. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of those players that are highly skilled and patient enough to get 106% on the game, even when I had a ton of countless fun moments when the game first launched. Now, I'm not saying that the achievements are impossible, although it does feels like that sometimes, but personally, I just don't think that it was really worth my time to get absolutely everything the game has in store for you. But hey, that's just me, as you may love the challenges, you may love the grind of achieving that 106% for bragging rights, or you may not even need a reason at all to go all out just because you love playing Crash 4 that much. What I'm saying is that this game has absolutely everything to offer for all types of players, and that is why it felt really nostalgic again just to boot it up once more. Now, keep in mind that the game was released back in October 2020, which was around 2 years ago. And up to now, I believe that it is still holding itself up pretty nicely compared to most of the single-player titles out there. Because remember, Crash 4 did not receive any major patches, nor did it receive any form of DLCs at all, but the game still has so much for you to do, from the main level itself to inverted levels, and then the flashback tape levels, and then the game modes just like the time trials which harnesses the relics, and then the other collectibles for you to get as well, etc. Just the amount of content and tasks the game has for you at launch is pretty astounding in itself, and yes, some of them are extremely hard to do.
Nani?
I've tried to chase for all of the platinum relics just because I thought that it would be easy since I've already beaten all of the developer time trials in Crash Team Racing, so I thought, how hard could this be? And boy, I couldn't be more wrong. I could only manage to beat about 7 of these platinum time trial relics until I've reached a burnout point. I don't know, maybe I'm just not a platforming wizard just like I thought I am. I wasn't having that much fun grinding for it either, because there's not a huge incentive waiting for me in the end. But nonetheless, huge respect and kudos to those who have managed to complete 106% of the game. You people are absolute legends. But despite the difficulty the game provides, that is what makes Crash Bandicoot fun, right? Luckily, to beat the game, you don't need any godlike sensors or reactions like the platinum time trial relics needed, as you can just go according to your own leisure, and when you do meet some difficult sections the game throws at you during your journey, it kinda just felt right. You don't really feel that the game is trying to hold you back, but rather it is pushing you to get better, and that is the beauty of Crash Bandicoot 4. And aside from that, booting the game up once more just reminded me how gorgeous most of these worlds are, from the perspective of character designs to the environment of each of the levels. I definitely felt a wave of happiness and good memories that I once had playing this game in 2020. I just wish that they could have expanded the multiplayer side of Crash 4 a little bit more, as I felt that limiting it to local play only rather than online multiplayer kind of held the game back a little bit in terms of its potential, and since the game is actually pretty solid on the multiplayer side. In fact, I think most of us was actually pretty confident as well that Toys for Bobs were going to introduce some sort of online multiplayer patches to the game. There were rumors, leaks and such spreading around, but unfortunately none of that actually came true. But hey, maybe that's the reason why Crash 4 was released on Steam recently. Maybe they do have plans to surprise us with a multiplayer update in the coming Game Awards in December. Who knows? All of these are just wishful thinking, however, but it doesn't change the fact that Crash Bandicoot 4 was indeed, and it still is, a solid Crash Bandicoot experience. If you played the game already, I'm sure that you had a hell of a time, and if you haven't, now it's not too late to indulge yourself in long periods of fun. This is TheViperian signing off, thanks for watching, and as always, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.